Disability advocates unveiled a strategy yesterday in response to what they say was the Ontario government's failure to lead the province to become accessible to those with disabilities by 2025. The Accessibility for Ontarians with Disabilities Act was created 20 years ago in 2005 and gave the province 20 years to reach its targets.
Well, here we are. Lawyer and disability advocate David Lepofsky leads the AODA law at Queen's Park and joins us live this morning. David, appreciate your time this morning. Let's talk about this. 20 years to get the province to where it needs to be, and you're saying it's far from it. How far from where we need to be are we, in fact?
We are a province that is still full of soul-crushing barriers, and progress on accessibility has been glacial, so we have a long way to go. The good news is the law on the books has the requirements we need, and I believe there's strong public support for tearing down accessibility barriers and preventing the creation of new ones. What's missing is the government leadership we need to actually do the job that the Disabilities Act sets for the government to lead the province to this goal.
Mm-hmm. And when we talk about the goals, David, there are several areas. You're looking at transportation, public spaces, also education, employment, customer service. Perhaps you can break down where most of the improvement is needed. Which area do you think?
All of them. And let me add residential housing, because we have an accessible housing crisis. Healthcare, our healthcare system is full of accessibility barriers. Now, your viewers are going to listen and think, oh my God, there's a lot to do. Well, there is a lot to do, but there's a lot to do because the government successive governments squandered the past 20 years and moved at a snail's pace when there was clear, easy things they could have done that would have gotten us there and in a painless way gotten us there and on time. But we're not taking this lying down. We've said the government's blown it. Successive governments have blown it. But the Disabilities Act didn't vanish on January 1st. And we're not going away. So we went to Queen's Park yesterday with a detailed action plan we call the Accessible Ontario Pledge. And we're asking all the party leaders to commit to it, whether they're government or opposition, whether they're in power or want to get into power. It gives them all the steps that need to be taken to get to the goal of accessibility as soon after the legal deadline as we can.
So, David, I agree with you. I think you're right. I think most Ontarians are with you that they want the province to be accessible and they want to see the efforts made here. You've also highlighted a couple of times there the laws in the Act. Is there a sense that there is going to be enforcement of these laws, that there's an appetite to enforce them? Because I think maybe a little bit of enforcement becomes a bit more of a stick than a carrot.
Well, the fact of the matter is you need a multi-pronged approach, but you need effective enforcement. And there's been a failure of effective enforcement over the past 15 years. We've documented it on our website. We've used freedom of information to document it. And we're not talking about draconian enforcement. Effective enforcement can be done in a way that helps organizations, but those who fall short and aren't prepared to take the action they need face consequences. Anyone who teaches in schools or universities know that the first thing on students' mind is it on the exam? And if you tell them something isn't on the exam, they don't do it. And the same goes for action on accessibility. Now, I'm not saying no one's doing anything. I'm not saying the government's done nothing. We would just be way further ahead if the government had shown the leadership and the successive premiers, including the current one, showed the leadership that we've needed, and that 4 successive government-appointed expert reviews have said we need.
Okay, let's hope that there's a change on the horizon and quickly. David Lepofsky, lawyer and chair of the AODA Alliance. Thanks so much for your time this morning. Appreciate it.